Welcome to my Jurassic Park display. Guys, welcome back to Jurassic Collectables. So one of the most frequent requests I get on this channel is to share an update on my display or collection, and I thought today I'd just give you a quick walk around of the display unit and how it's looking. I still see it as a work in progress. As you can see, the wood panels on the side are unfinished and veneered. In terms of also what's on display, I still see the kind of arrangements as work in progress, and I'm constantly changing these. So let's kick off. This is the Iron Studios Tyrannosaurus Rex statue. It's 1/10 scale. I have reviewed this on the channel and I think it's a thing of beauty. It's huge. I don't know if you can really take in how big this thing is, but it is a massive statue, and it really does work as a nice centerpiece for the collection. Down here, you've got my night vision goggle replicas that I built in 2017. And this is actually built from the same parts they used in the original movie. Again, review is on the channel and shows you how I built that. It actually works as well, so they do actually light up and the lenses extend and it all works like it does in the film. My goal was to really make an exact copy of the prop seen in the film, and I did that with help of 3D printing and finding the original parts. So if you want to see the video on that, link is down below. Over here we've got another Iron Studios statue. This is the Muldoon versus the Velociraptor Clever Girl statue, again 1/10 scale. And in between the T-Rex and Muldoon, we've got this nice Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth banner. I made this myself from some fabric. I actually did a video on this. I've noticed since looking at the film and looking at this, that actually what I need to do is give some spot highlights on the lettering. In the actual banner in the film, the lettering is actually more glossy than the black background. So I'm actually going to do this myself. I'm going to paint on some PVA glue or some high gloss finish to really make those letters pop, and then it'll just be a little bit more accurate to the film. So as I said, everything's a work in progress. Moving on. Here we have some Stan Winston maquette castings. These were actually cast from the production used maquettes. So this is the Parasaurolophus from Jurassic Park: The Lost World. It's beautifully detailed, and that's sculpted by Paul Magias. And there's the Pachycephalosaurus. Beautiful. At the back there, we've got a Jurassic Park cardboard promo logo. This is actually one side of it. They were actually, in the 90s, they were suspended from shop ceilings via like a little bit of nylon cable. But I managed to pick this one up fairly recently, actually, and I thought it would set off this area of the display really nicely. Down here, we've got two very rare replicas made by Icons. And Icons replicas kind of went out of business, I think in the early 2000s, but they made film accurate replicas, so things that were cast off of screen used props. And you can see here we've got the Velociraptor claw on the left, which is actually cast off the animatronic toe claw of the Velociraptor. And then on the right, we've got a Jurassic Park egg from the hatchery. Again, this is cast off of a screen used prop. And these were highly sought after in the kind of late 2000s. There are artist-proof versions and prototype castings out there, but I really love the way these things are displayed and look, and I was lucky enough to pick them up both. Down here I've got a casting of a baby Velociraptor hatchling, the same one seen in Jurassic Park, and this is actually cast off of a Stan Winston maquette of that baby raptor. So this is actually a recent addition, and I got this as a part trade. It's one of the raptor's finger claws. This is actually screen used from Jurassic Park. It's one of the fingers from the hand that comes around the door when they're trying to turn on the door locks. It's made of really sort of lightweight foamy material, I imagine because it was like a stunt prop that needed to not only interact with the actors but also withstand being shut in a door. So yeah, this is amazing, and I'm really honoured to own something like this. Over here we have a copy of the original Jurassic Park VHS as it came out. This is actually a US copy, and this is how it came out in 1994. It came out a year after release. That's how long video cassettes took to come out at that time. And also I think Spielberg wasn't so much of a fan of home entertainment. He wanted to keep it special as long as possible, which I can understand. Here, I'm very lucky to own a production used screenplay of Jurassic Park. And I actually saw this one go up for sale and didn't get it. And then later saw it come up for resale and nabbed it. This belonged to a member of the production staff and actually features a slightly different ending, which I can't see documented anywhere. So stay tuned for a video on this in the future. Over here we have a 1/10 scale Orange Studios Ford Explorer, and these were actually part of a bigger set that came with the T-Rex that you saw earlier on, but then were sold separately. So this is the version that does not have the raindrops on it. On the bigger set, it has raindrops on the windows, and they feature working lights on the front and the rear, and also working little monitors inside. In the back, it features the suitcase that Grant gets the flares from, and it even comes with small brochures that you can like fill the back with. So it looks just like it does in the film when all the brochures are kind of spilt all over the back. So it's a really nice detail. I've still got my brochures in a little baggie in the passenger seat there. You can see it. But the detail on this thing is really stunning. I actually created some wheel blocks for the front because the way the body of the car was cast, it sort of leans forwards as if it's kind of either in movement or someone's pressing down on the bonnet. So I decided to build these little wheel blocks and weathered them up to make them look muddy so that it kind of evens out the vehicle and makes it look balanced. With the car behind clear acrylic, how do I actually turn the lights on and off? And that's a really good question. I actually have it on remote. So I've actually got a dummy power supply going in with a dummy set of batteries. And then I just turn them on remotely like this from the other side. Here we have a signed photo of Steven Spielberg, the man himself, the director. And I was kind of hoping one day I'd get to meet the guy and get him to sign a photo myself. But an opportunity came up to get this and I couldn't pass it up. And it features a photo of him when he was actually filming Jurassic Park. It's not obvious, but the accompanying photo shows him actually filming with that camera on the particular day, filming the Ford Explorer. And they're filming the part where they drove past the Dilophosaur paddock. So I thought these two would make a nice kind of pair to tell a story. I'm really fortunate enough to own two walkie-talkies that were used in the production of Jurassic Park. So on the right is the stunt one that you may have seen in a review that I did, and I'll put a link to that down below. But a couple of years back, I also managed to nab a Hero handset. And this is one of the ones that would have been in the rack when Ellie removes one of the handsets. And the nice thing about these is that due to a video made by Brandon Constant, who's known as Cyrix on YouTube, he actually revealed that his handset actually still worked. So I decided to open mine up and get it working. And lo and behold, I've got it working on remote too, so I can turn on the lights. Unfortunately, the stunt handset, the lights don't work and the battery's kind of corroded and stuff. So what I did is I actually fed a little USB light through underneath, and there's luckily a hole on the back, so I just illuminate it through there. And yeah, it's interesting the different types of green you've got on camera here, because in person they look very similar, but for some reason on camera they look like different shades of green. But yeah, it's really amazing to see the handset working as it would when it was in the film in 1993, and even the little red LED on top is working. If I were to open up this display, you can actually switch the handset on and off with the little power switch on the top, just like the film. So that's really cool to have a Hero screen used prop from the film. This you may have seen in a past video, but this is a Lost World Stan Winston Studios Compsognathus maquette. I've actually reached out to ex-Stan Winston employees, and they said that this is either a master sculpt that was used to make the molds, or it was one that was given to ILM for scanning. My gut says that maybe it was sent to ILM for scanning simply because it's out there in the wild, so it kind of went to a third party and then got loose. But also the fact that it's painted in a matte grey, which might have helped in the kind of laser scanning process when they were scanning this into the computer. But yeah, a really highly detailed Compsognathus maquette, and one that I'm really honoured to own. Over in this section of the display is kind of like my nostalgia section, if I'm honest. These were things that were in the shops, and I remember seeing them in the shops in 1993, all apart from the stickers box, which I'd never actually seen in person, but I'd seen the stickers. And a lot of this stuff was made by Topps, apart from the t-shirt, which was available at UK and Athena. And these are really, really, for me, these take me back to 1993. So I get really nostalgic about these. And I loved these candy eggs that you could get that came with dinosaurs inside. I used to store other Jurassic Park pieces in there, like weapons and stuff. You can see there's the T-Rex and the Raptor candy heads. There's the different cards that you could get from Topps. This is how they came in the display box in the UK. 25p to buy a pack of the cards. And then here are the stickers. And there's the Island Tour Raptor t-shirt at the back, still sealed. And yeah, this just really swooshes me back to 1993. And I love this section. The Iron Studios Raptors in the Kitchen set with Tim Murphy. And I actually made a custom base for it out of cardboard to match the display, but also to cover up the tapered rock base, which I wasn't a big fan of. Over here, this is actually a production used Jurassic Park egg. It was cast heavy on one side and therefore wasn't actually used on screen, but it comes from the original molds, and to me that's pretty amazing. You can actually see, if you look closely, the pitting on this is much more heavy than the pitting on my Icons egg replica, so which tells me that it's kind of like an earlier generation casting, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's just amazing to own something that was production made for Jurassic Park and may have been featured in more of the lab scene earlier on when they're kind of demonstrating the genetic process. But I'm still amazed that I own something cast from those same molds. Up here, we've got a casting of the T-Rex toe claw. This came from someone who worked for Chronicle, I believe. And they might have been making a replica of this at one point before they went out of business, but this is a casting of the T-Rex toe claw. And it's amazing to own this and to see it full size. Down here at the back, can you just see those? Those are exact replicas of the cups seen in Jurassic Park when the water vibrates with the concentric circles. And it's signed by Michael Lantieri. So I've got two of them there. One says to David, and one just says Michael Lantieri special effects, and he signed those. And he was very helpful in answering some questions I had about how the actual effect worked. And that allowed me to recreate the effect in a video on the channel, which I'll put a link to down below. Then I've got a few various things that are coming up for review in storage. And then I've got the Jurassic Park rock relief logo, which was on the channel years ago. And I think features in the Jurassic Park Carpool's monitor display for the video that is circulated around the Jurassic Park motorpool. I think it is this rock relief, so that's pretty cool. Up here we've got the Triceratops, baby Triceratops beak casting, which I was very fortunate to pick up. Down here we have the recently reviewed Triceratops by Iron Studios, again 1/10 scale, an amazing set, and I have removed Alan. He lives up on the top of the display. But yeah, I really love the way this thing looks. Got some storage for comics related stuff. So I've got the library editions of the Topps comics. There's a French version there. I've got the IDW collections, which are becoming stupidly rare for some reason. A German Jurassic Park annual. The Ultimate Visual History recently released. The Topps book that came out recently. Jurassic Park novels. The manga version of Jurassic Park, which I'll do a video on at some point. Jurassic Park electronic pinball set, which I restored. This isn't actually the same set now. I actually traded that with a friend, or sold it off to a friend, and he was very grateful, but I managed to pick up a new pinball set. So I've replaced the innards with a new pinball set, but I've kept the same box. Got my Vice Press Jurassic Park poster, and while I'm not a fan of the Tyrannosaurus Rex head that they chose to use, I think this still is a really effective poster. And this particular print from Vice Press is actually 001. I didn't realize until I looked really closely at it, so I'm amazed to own the first edition of this particular print. We have the Chronicle Collectables Amber Cane. Again, I have reviewed this on the channel, and I put it in this clear acrylic cricket case because it just looked way better and set it off better than the thing that grips it around the neck. And also that grip that came with it, unfortunately, does damage the neck area if you replace it quite often. So yeah, I decided this would be much more fitting. This is probably one of the coolest things I've picked up recently. This is a Jurassic Park crew shirt from those who worked on Kauai. And if you didn't know, the crew was hit by a giant hurricane in 1992 called Hurricane Aniki while they were filming on the island of Kauai. And it actually stopped production with like 1 day left to finish the shoot. It destroyed a lot of their sets and it wiped out most of the island. Anyway, this t-shirt was designed by Dave Lowry, who did a lot of the storyboards for Jurassic Park, and featured in Jurassic Park, the making of book. And on the back, it actually features a weather report that they received, telling them that the hurricane was imminent the next day. And if you love the making of Jurassic Park book like I do, this is a really recognizable and fantastic piece to own, a piece of Jurassic Park history. Over here I have a signed picture from John Bell, who actually designed a lot of the vehicles and props seen in Jurassic Park. And I'm also a big fan of Back to the Future. And he designed a lot of the props and vehicles and things for that film as well, including the hoverboard. So I was really pleased to get this. I have a Dr. Collector wooden sign, which I think looks really great. And then I've got various pieces of Jurassic Park memorabilia and collectibles across the top here. This is really a free-for-all, and there's no rhyme or reason here. I'm just putting stuff up on display. But actually this area keeps me happy because there's a lot of vintage stuff up here. But at some point these will get put away more neatly. Down at the bottom of the display you can see I've got these document boxes. They're like a leatherette finish. And I got these off of Amazon, and I decided I didn't like the way they looked at the front. So I replaced the nameplates with these handles. And the handles resemble Hammond's amber cane body, but they're actually made of brass. This is a Japanese, this is a Laserdisc box. It actually comes with the CD, which I reviewed on the channel, the limited edition Jurassic Park CD, which has the picture disc on the CD, which is why I picked this one up. So yeah, very unusual set, that one. And then here we have a sealed Fossil Edition Laserdisc. It's a bit dusty, got some dust bunnies on there. So there we have it. That was a quick look at my Jurassic Park display, how it's coming along. As I said, it's a work in progress. I'm sure it will change many times over. And I can't display everything I'd like to, just because of space. I'm trying to keep it as minimal as possible. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this brief look at my collection. In the meantime, guys, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.